This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Semoso, first female Speaker of Parliament. Gulf welcomes telecommunication development. And Section 145 amendment criticized. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I am Louis Maingu. Thank you for joining us. The first time in the history of Papua New Guinea, a female has chaired the parliament sitting. Francisca Semoso, member for North Bougainville, appeared today as the Assistant Speaker of Parliament in the third day of the first parliament sitting of 2025. Being a speaker is not new to Francisca Semoso, as she has held the positions of Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Bougainville House of Representatives prior to her political career as the member for North Bougainville. Prime Minister James Marape, along with other members of Parliament, commended MP Semoso to being the first female Speaker of Parliament after 50 years of independence.
I think in our nation's history, this is the first time a woman leader has taken the chair to facilitate proceedings of Parliament. So on behalf of my own family, mothers of my own electorate, mothers of our country, and people of our country, including the autonomous region of Bougainville, let me say a huge congratulations.
Semoso also acknowledged the opportunity given to her to chair today's parliament sitting as Assistant Speaker.
I want to say thank you. We'd like to thank you, long Marape Rosso government, as we celebrate our 50 years in the next couple of months. We to thank you that Parliament of Papua New Guinea, as it celebrates its 50 years, and we look sabe lo mipla olmeri, and for the first time, there is a woman sitting on the chair of the Parliament.
The opposition argued that the recently amended Section 145 in the Constitution was unlawful. They said this at a press conference after the Parliament sitting today.
Opposition leader James Nomane said it is the right of the people to let their MPs move the vote.
To Section 145 comes in, and he will have 18 months protection before you can move another vote of no confidence, and by that time it won't be relevant anymore, because we'll be 12 months before the issue of writs for the next election. So we will have the Honourable James Marape as the Prime Minister for the country going into the 2027 national general elections. Notwithstanding that change to the Section 145, we're also announcing now that we will be taking this matter to court, and we'll be filing next week to oppose these changes as being oppressive and not in the spirit of the Constitution, by restricting members and prohibiting them from exercising their rights under their mandate to move a vote of no confidence in the Prime Minister.
Adding on, East CP Governor Alan Bird said the amendment only suits the Prime Minister.
I felt I had to say that, because the other thing is that Sir Julius was a member of the opposition, and if he was here, he would have opposed those changes. And so I thought it was very hypocritical for them to say one thing in his memory, and then their actions are then totally contrary. I thought that was really disrespectful. But moving on, just to affirm what the opposition deputy leader has said, the fact of the matter is that these constitutional changes are intended just to support one man. And I want the Christians out there to understand this.
In the opposition team was the senior statesman, member for Sinisine Yongumul Kerengakua, who opposed the amendment of the Prime Minister and the National Executive Council Act 2002.
a bill was passed to amend the NEC Act. Did you notice that? Now there's a section in there, a very important section, which says that the final decision of the NEC is non-justiciable. The final decision of the NEC is non-justiciable. You go back and look at your draft copy of that bill, which is now law. So everything that the bureaucracy, the judiciary, even the parliament does revolves around the decision of the NEC. But if you cannot challenge an NEC decision, bring into evidence the decision of the NEC, how can you hold the NEC accountable?
Opposition leaders said they are loyal and will continue to fight for the rights of the people. James Guken, National EMTV News.
The National Superannuation Fund has announced its audited result for the year 2024 this afternoon. The audited financial statements were approved by the trustee board at the meeting today, reporting net asset value of 8.1 billion kina and a notable net profit after tax of 849 million kina for the year ended 31st December 2024.
Following these results, the trustee board has declared an interest crediting rate of 11.75% for the 2024 financial year. This translates to a distribution of over 839 million kina to members' accounts this weekend, reinforcing the fund's commitment to growth and increasing members' savings despite economic challenges. Nasfund chairwoman said Nasfund's growth has continued throughout 2024 despite the challenges both domestically and internationally.
Our crediting rate for 2024 of 11.75% underscores our dedication to providing strong and stable returns to our members, above CPI over a rolling 5-year period, which on average is 7.2% compared to the CPI average of 5.1%.
She said despite no major projects commencing in the country during the year, they have seen strong growth from their existing membership, with 56,874 new members and 191 new companies joining the fund.
The fund remains committed to safeguarding and growing retirement savings despite external economic pressures. Nasfund remains a trusted partner in securing the financial futures of all its members, reinforcing its position as Papua New Guinea's leading superannuation provider. The fund looks forward to continuing this and ensuring the long-term financial security and confidence of its members.
The positive financial outcomes were significantly influenced by the valuation gains of 487 million kina, more than double the valuation gain of 180 million kina last year. It should be noted that 280 million kina of this gain is from their investment in BSP, which represents 59% of the overall valuation gains. Nasfund CEO also confirmed that the National Superannuation Fund is continuing to deliver strong financial performance and positive returns for over 715,000 members.
From 7.1 billion last year to 8.1 billion kina. And our interest crediting is 11.75% this year, up from 9% last year. Total contributions received during the year was 793 million. Last year it was 705 million. And benefit payments made this year was 591 million against 534 million paid last year. And there was a growth in membership by 4%. Now our new membership is 715,873. The other notable item is that our expense for the year was 78 million. Which is up by 3 million kina from last year of 75%. It means it is less than CPI increase. So our expense management.
Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
In today's Parliament sitting, Member for Bogia, Robert Naguri, asked a question without notice to the Minister for International Trade and Investment, Richard Maru, regarding the development of the Pacific Maritime Industrial Zone project in Madang Province. Robert Naguri raised this question without notice today due to the delay of the promised Pacific Marine Industrial Zone project in Madang. Naguri said it has been 15 years and nothing has been done.
In regard to the PMIZ project in Madang, it's been 15 years now and the people of Madang have been waiting for this project to get off the ground. Quite a substantial amount of money spent on this huge investment in the country, and there's nothing seems to be moving forward. The people of Madang are losing out on jobs, taxes, revenue, and this has been going on for years now, 15 years, Madam Speaker, Assistant Speaker.
He further asked Minister Maru of the latest on the PMIZ project and a joint venture agreement with RD Tuna to establish the PMIZ as well as the equity distribution of the project. In response, Minister Maru said people need to understand some of the challenges of developing a PMIZ project. In the case of Madang District, Minister Maru said the project needs to have a wharf, sufficient water supply and power supply in order to be operational. Hence, this is lacking in the development of the project.
The easiest way to develop PMIZ and to bring it online as soon as possible is to go into bed with or do a joint venture with RD, because they already have a wharf next to the state land, NFL land at PMIZ. They already have cold storage. Those are two important factors.
Minister Maru clarified that the only thing that is delaying the National Executive Council to approve the joint venture agreement is the legal clearance from the state solicitor.
Should he give the legal clearance today or tomorrow, I will be taking back a submission to Cabinet for them to approve the memorandum of agreement between the state, Madang Provincial Government, RD, for us to enter into a joint venture, for the state to put 50% of the equity required, which is 80 million, which is now ready, and we should be on our way with PM plan to commence or launch the first cannery within the PMIZ area by next month.
Maru said it's confident that Maraperoso government by next month will deliver the PMIZ project.
It will be a very historic achievement for any government since independence, because for the first time we will have a PNG-owned cannery in the fisheries sector. Never has that been ever done, where we will own half. We have provisions in the agreement for aspects like within 5 years all the key jobs in the cannery must be localized and occupied by public unions. Those are some of the terms that we are going to be proposing to NEC, and I think RD has basically agreed to that.
In terms of equity, Minister Maru said he will propose to the Cabinet that Madang Provincial Government must be given 10% and Sumkar and Madang districts to get 5% each. Member for North Fly District, James Donald, questioned the Prime Minister today about certain important ministries, asking why are these ministries functioning without money. This follows unfulfilled commitments made to North Fly District and Western Province by several ministers. Member for North Fly, James Donald, asked this question today after he discovered that several ministries that have made commitments to fund projects in his district and province lack funding.
Question I have here to the Prime Minister: why are these ministries functioning without money? Time I'm appointing more, allocating more, making work for country. Is this the indication of the country not got money? Now his government is mismanaging this country. The department belong all I have reliable, answering people of this country. Another question: how comes people are borrowing plenty money inside the government program? This problem is happening. Can he be answerable for his departments? Now two people block country block this country you make that. Thank you.
Responding to the questions asked, Prime Minister James Marape said this.
The country through this question that government, whilst we have budgeted for, sometimes funding is delayed, sometimes funding is remitted lesser than what was forecasted in budget. The Treasurer will relay to us for the final budget outcome later in this year.
Meanwhile, member for Chuave Open James Nomane asked a supplementary question to the Prime Minister regarding the commitments made by ministers for North Flight District's development.
The honourable question by the honourable member for North Fly was how were the departments funded? Last year, notwithstanding revenue shortfalls with respect to non-tax revenue performance, this government, the Marape government, borrowed 3.983, almost 4 billion kina in borrowings. That took the total borrowing of the Marape government to 37 billion kina since 2019, increasing our national debt to 62 billion kina. These are massive, whopping amounts of debt and borrowing. So what happened to this 4 billion kina that was borrowed, and why weren't these commitments by ministers honoured for the member for North Fly and his district? Thank you, Acting Speaker.
In response, PM Marape stated this.
Last year's borrowing was not reckless. It was within our last year's money plan. Stick to this government to see whether by 2027 we come back to a surplus or not. The last time this country saw a surplus budget was when I was Education Minister. That's 2010. Since then, we've been running deficit budget up till today. To turn a big economy back to clear water will take some reconstructing the economy. We borrowed cheaply to refinance expensive debt. We're maintaining a fiscal consolidation path to come back to responsible, balanced budget by 27. Treasurer's got a clear roadmap that by 2034, whoever is in government will be operating a country that has no debt inside.
Gulf Provincial Government has signed a memorandum of agreement with Telecom Limited to develop integrated telecommunications in the province.
Telecom Limited Chief Executive Officer said the Memorandum of Understanding signifies a partnership in terms of telecommunications.
In the long term, the commercial term and a few other things also would be discussed going forward. But in a way we want to see is we want to make sure Gulf provincial government is changed in the way they do things. So that's the reason why with our governor, Chris Iveta, who's been taking the lead on a lot of things that are happening in his province as well, he would like to take telecom as part of his partnership going forward with the business side as well, but more to do with communication side. And anything that's going to come after that is something that will go into commercial agreements as well in detail.
Governor for Gulf Province Chris Iveta said he wants to ensure his people receive information.
So receive information about the markets, about the price of cocoa, about the price of coffee, about the price of rubber, even oil and gas prices, and the strength of a kina and what's happening. So information is important, and it provides the missing link for one villager to become more than a villager, to be empowered.
The governor said while there are other communication companies in the province, he welcomes Telecom to bring in their services.
We'll assist you. We'll provide the land. We'll get land disputes or arguments resolved. We'll help you put up the infrastructures, and depending on what we have to do, we'll make sure that we maintain peace and harmony with the community.
Telecom CEO clarified that the MOA stems from a memorandum of understanding signed with the province last year.
There was a MOU in place since last year, and then eventually now coming to MOA. So we are now moving in that. It's all clear for us to move forward with our relationship with Gulf Provincial Government. And today is the start of our journey.
Malinta Yopolo, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Attention all students, parents and schools. The Smart Start School promotion is back for 2025. Your school could win a school grant worth 44,000 kina. Here's how. Collect 3 empty packets of Smart Start breakfast biscuits, write your name, number and school on an envelope, put the empty packets inside and drop them into an entry box at a registered school. The school with the highest number of valid entries in each region wins. 1,000 consolation prizes are also up for grabs. Register your school now with Paradise Foods Limited. Smart Start breakfast biscuit, proudly made by Paradise Foods.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
EMTV News A Closer Look returns for 2025, the current affairs program that brings to you weekly insights for the latest on education, health, business, politics,
I just want to make that clear.
Sports, and more. A closer look every Sunday at 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
How PNG's foreign relations, how it has evolved since independence, especially with our foreign policy stance of friends to all, enemy to none. Is this foreign policy framework still relevant and applicable in the current context?
Monday night on In Focus, we feature discussions on PNG's foreign relations with other countries.
The Americans and the Australians that they will always have to have an influence in Papua New Guinea because it is it's a buffer zone for them.
That's on Monday night.
You're watching National EMTV News. While the members of Parliament were paying their tribute to late Grand Chief Sir Julius Chen, the member for Vanimo Green and Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Beldenama, reflected on his encounter with the great man.
In his tribute speech, the Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture and a member for Vanimo Green highlighted his first encounter with late Sir Julius.
One government representative, Lokamna, witnessing this peace ceremony. Sir Julius Chen fly go lo buka, kisim chopper, and fly direct go lo Boeing South Bougainville. And number one time, me looking Sir Julius Chen, time me Deputy Prime Minister.
Minister Nama said when they were busy capturing the Panguna mine back in the Sandline crisis, there was political activities that were ongoing in Waigani that they didn't know of.
Prime Minister, Vice Minister, instruction was for us to take on Bougainville, Panguna mine and pursue on the operations until we secure Bougainville. Sir Julius Chen came in And as soon as he became Prime Minister, he pronounced truce.
He further highlighted on his second encounter with late Sir Julius.
The second time I had encounter with Sir Julius Chen, Mr. Assistant Speaker, was right here in this house, the House of Parliament, in the Prime Minister's office. This time, as a soldier fully armed, to tell Sir Julius Chen to step aside as the Prime Minister, because the mission to go and wipe out the entire race of Bougainville was not in the best interest of our country. We believed then that it was morally and ethically wrong for us to go and wipe out the entire race of Bougainville. It was the defining moment in our country. It was the defining moment in Bougainville. But Mr. Assistant Speaker, what touches me most is the decision this gentleman, this fine leader of this country, made. When the country was at the crossroads, when the country was in chaos, when there was a call for him to step aside, he did step aside, and I salute him for that decision.
Mr. Nama said when leaders come to the crossroad in defining moments of a country, leaders must put country first, like what late Sir Julius did. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
A law on PNG, being the Christian country, was passed on the floor of Parliament yesterday by a total of 80 members.
A total of 80 members voted for the bill on making PNG a Christian country.
Honourable members, the ayes 80. No.
The bill was passed by Parliament late yesterday.
A proposed law to amend the Constitution to declare Papua New Guinea as a Christian country and other related purposes.
The Minister for Justice and Attorney General Pila Niningi thanked the members of Parliament for voting this bill as it is important for the country.
Secondly, I would like also to thank the members of Parliament and the Assistant Speaker you are Christian. You made it, Parliament made it its business to establish Papua New Guinea as a Christian country. Christianity came to this country. That's why stability is established. It's now that Parliament has spoken that one of the important religions for this country is Christianity. May God bless Papua New Guinea.
Prime Minister James Marape said the amendment has been a long time coming and is part of an extensive work carried out by the PNG Constitutional Law and Reform Commission in 2022 throughout the country. Prime Minister, who has always been vocal of the role of Christian churches in PNG, in tandem with government services, pre-independence and post-independence, said yesterday was a happy day to finally see the bill passed. He said with so much diversity, languages, associated cultures and tribal affiliations, no one can dispute the fact that Christian churches have anchored the country's unity and togetherness. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Hedoru Money Limited, or Money Plus, donated 50,000 kina to Motu Koita Assembly in sponsorship of the annual Hiri Moale Festival, which will be held in Port Moresby next month.
During the presentation at Money Plus head office in downtown Port Moresby today, the financial institution expressed their excitement to jump on board as silver sponsors of the 2025 Hiri Moale Festival. Money Plus head of commercial, Karai Morea, said the festival commemorates the historic trading voyages of the Motu-speaking people, and the company believes in maintaining and preserving cultural heritage.
Money Plus is confident that our support through the sponsorship can benefit the festival arrangements and source a better and more advanced impact on the importance of truly maintaining and preserving our cultural heritage. To the committee, your hard work for your continued hard work in delivering successful festival, and keeping alive our cultural beliefs will go a long way to educating our youths, communities, and citizens of Papua New Guinea, and especially the Motu Koita people.
Motu Koita Assembly CEO Marikila, who received the check, thanked MoneyPlus for the sponsorship.
This festival becomes a success because of support from companies like you, and we are so grateful. One of the important aspects of and the reasons behind hosting of Hirimwale Festival is preserving the culture of Motu Koita people, who are the indigenous people of this beautiful city, which has become the capital of Papua New Guinea, the culture that defines us. And from Hirimwale, we are so grateful once again for MoneyPlus coming on board.
Cultural performances, Hiri Ananamo contest, Lakadoi parade and others will be on show during the festival. The winner of the 2024 Hiri Ananamo, Miss Henau Heni, was also present during the presentation. Pakatambua, National EMTV News.
The Cold War mindset is resurging, and hotspot issues have emerged one after another amongst the global competitors, but China still believes in equal and orderly multipolar world. This was announced by Chinese ambassador to PNG yesterday.
During the symposium themed China's Global Initiatives and China-PNG Cooperation, hosted by the Chinese Embassy yesterday, Ambassador Chia Guang said universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalization can be achieved. He said non-traditional security challenges such as terrorism, cyber attacks, transnational crimes, and biosecurity are increasing. He highlighted certain developed countries have backtracked in climate change policy. Global climate governance is more urgently needed. He highlighted the three global initiatives, which are Global Development Initiative, Global Security Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative. The ambassador said, facing mounting global crises and challenges, no country can stand unaffected, and that all countries must join hands to move forward in the pursuit of peace and stability, material sufficiency, and cultural ethical enrichment. He added that China will be the most reliable partner of all countries, including PNG.
The two sessions outlined China's main targets for economic and social development this year, including GDP growth of around 5%, over 12 million new urban jobs, and around 2% increase in the consumer price index, grain output of around 700 million tons, and a drop of around 3% in energy consumption per unit of GDP.
Pakatambua, National EMTV News.
Now we take a look at the Nasfund market report. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2471 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2471 US, 0.3765 Australian dollars, 0.2124 euro, and 35.15 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed higher, copra closed lower, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Share the love with Gullah Ice Cream, Gullah Cone Ice Creams, Gullah Stick Ice Creams, and Gullah Classic Tub Ice Creams. Happiness begins with the Gullah range of fun flavors which create taste adventures and excitement with every bite. Treat yourself. Share with a friend while chilling. the whole family will enjoy. Everyone has their favorite. Which one is yours? Share the love with Gullah Ice Creams.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with Nasfund. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom-PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Meet the bank for everyone, everywhere. As People's Microbank, we were proud to be a bank for the people. Now as National Banking Corporation, we are bringing modern banking to all in Papua New Guinea. With more branches and our friendly staff ready to assist you in more places, we are making money matters simple and fair. So wherever you are, however you say it, say hello better banking. Learn more at nbcpng.com.pg.
Tonight on Sports Scene, we talk about the Pacific Mini Games.
Team PNG finished first with 33 gold, 28 silver and 19 bronze.
And we hear from the ADF International Sports Program. Sports Scene tonight at 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
You're watching National EMTV News. The council members of Innovative University of Enga today welcomed its new president, Professor Brian Davis.
The new president of Innovative University of Enga, Professor Brian Davis, is of American nationality and has flown into Papua New Guinea from Kazakhstan together with his wife. Professor Davis has 20 years of experience in both academic and administrative roles.
Opportunity fits really well here. From the first interview, I recognized this for exactly what it was, the opportunity to make an impact, to serve and to change people's lives. So I'm very grateful. I feel the support. I've been in meetings with the IUE Council all morning, and I can tell you that I've never felt this amount of support as I felt this morning.
The professor is adamant to deliver in his capacity.
One of my jobs moving forward is going to be manage that change and manage expectations as we combine these institutions into a single university. Now, moving forward, it's always a challenge to make sure that our degree offerings match the expectations of our constituents.
Chairperson of IUE Council said after a global search, the institution is content with their choice of president.
The council today is really happy that after our global search of wanting to find a president that can take this university to a level of excellence in this country, that can take the Innovative University of Enga and give it the real meaning of innovation. Professor here has experience in establishing community colleges in the US and raising them up even to the level of university. That is what we need.
Malinta Yopolo, National EMTV News.
Over 2,000 Morobe students from 60 tertiary institutions within the country will be receiving sponsorship from the Morobe provincial government under its scholarship scheme.
A total of 2,625 applicants of the Gerson Solulu Scholarship Program have been accepted for this year and will be sponsored to study in 60 institutions around the country.
But the estimate last year would have been about some 5,000 plus students applied. There was last year some 5,000 students plus applied, and this year has been about almost like 4,000. But in the actual figure, according to our record, it's about 3,624 applicants for this year. And out of these, 2,625 students have been accepted, have been given the scholarship. In a total of 60 institutions in the country. Last year we only had about 45 institutions. And this year we had an extension of another 15 more schools. So total for this year is about 60 institutions in the country. And 2,625 students have been basically, fitted into all these 60 institutions in the country.
From the 20 million kina approved from this year's provincial budget, 15 more institutions were added to last year's 45 selected institutions. Chairman Bakung revealed funds have been made available, with payments said to be made to institutions.
By next week we will begin to do the payment to the major schools. That will be the universities. We will be the next week.
Reverend Elimas Bakung said this year was a pleasant change to the chaos usually experienced in previous years. He said since going online, the application process has progressed well and managed with minimal issues faced. Meanwhile, students whose applications were unsuccessful are encouraged not to give up but to further upgrade their marks and reapply next year with certified documents. Jessica Nui, National MTV News, Leh.
National MTV News continues after the break with Rukai Sports. Stay with us.
Banking used to mean long trips, endless queues, and piles of paperwork. But now, BSP's one-talk wallet means no waits, no forms, no fuss. No BSP account needed. Just dial *131# to access your money wherever, whenever. Send, receive funds, withdraw cash at an ATM without a bank card, pay for school fees, and make top-up purchases safely and securely. BSP's one-talk wallet. Money made easy.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck. like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with Nasfund. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family, living each day knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Join me on House and Home for all your home and lifestyle improvements.
Everything business for me, no. Okay, boss rate for me, kay for me.
From Hatok Mom, health and fitness, interest stories, gardening tips, out and about, pet care, and many more. Join me every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. In preparation for PNG to go into the National Rugby League competition in 2028, a new youth competition has been announced that will see the best young players in the country compete against each other. It will be a 7-week competition.
The competition is a joint partnership between the PNG RFL and NRL Board Academy. The 7-week competition, through the work of Joe Grima and his coaching staff at NRL Academy level, will see under-19 players in the country representing their pathway clubs in the PNG RFL. The CEO of PNG RFL acknowledged how important this new competition would be for the game in this country. He said this competition will provide a great learning curve for the young players and will allow the coaches to support them in a high-pressure environment. The PNG NRL bid CEO Andrew Hill also highlighted the importance of the new competition. He said part of creating a world learning pathways system is to challenge the players at all levels to gain good habits from an early age. Estagane, Trukai Sports.
Athletics PNG has warmly welcomed the recent news that work has commenced on the rebuilding of the all-weather track at the Sir Ignatius Kilage Stadium in Lae. President Tony Green said the completion of the track will be a huge boost to the sport in the province and for the national athletics programs, with the national championships returning to Lae this year for the first time since 2016. Green said PNG Air National Championships will be staged from 5th to the 7th December, which Athletics PNG believes is feasible given that the Lae City Authority are planning for the track to be completed in time for the 50th independence celebrations in September. Athletics PNG further commend the time frame for this, alluding to preparations for the Pacific Mini Games in June. Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Accept the challenge. Choose PNG's favorite purified bottled water. True Wara, 100% PNG made.
Proudly bottled by Paradise Foods.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Money Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Our chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Money Plus, we're ready to go.
Nipla Halivim Wari Bilong You.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom, more bundles. Top up now.
How PNG's foreign relations, how it has evolved since independence, especially with our foreign policy stance of friends to all, enemy to none. Is this foreign policy framework still relevant and applicable in the current context?
Monday night on In Focus, we feature discussions on PNG's foreign relations with other countries.
The Americans and the Australians that they will always have to have an influence in Papua New Guinea because it is it's a buffer zone for them.
That's on Monday night.
EMTV News A Closer Look returns for 2025, the current affairs program that brings to you weekly insights for the latest on education, health, business, politics,
I just want to make that clear,
sports, and more. A Closer Look, every Sunday at 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
You're watching True Guy Sports. Moving to overseas sports now. The Illawarra Hawks have made it 1-1 in their best of 5 grand final series against Melbourne United.
United won the first championship match on the road, but the Hawks snatched game 2, 102 points to 100 in Melbourne last night. It was another thriller. Tyler Harvey shot a 3-pointer with just 7 seconds left on the clock.
I was like, God, please give me a shot to redeem myself. We found Ian Clark at the 3, and God gave me a chance to shoot the ball and made it. I'm just thankful I got that shot off, man, and went in. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do.
After last week's AFL opening round games in Sydney, the first Melbourne-based match of the season gets underway tonight.
With Richmond facing Carlton at the MCG. Meanwhile, Geelong hosts Fremantle on Saturday and the Dockers are downplaying the club's long injury list. Shea Bolton is one of a number of players in doubt for the clash in Geelong. He's recovering from a leg injury. Hayden Young and Nat Fyfe have also been ruled out, while some others are in doubt, including Michael Walters and Alex Pearce.
And that ends True Guy Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
True Guy Sports. True Guy Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck. like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with Nasfund. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Attention all students, parents and schools. The Smart Start School promotion is back for 2025. Your school could win a school grant worth 44,000 kina. Here's how. Collect 3 empty packets of Smart Start breakfast biscuits, write your name, number and school on an envelope, put the empty packets inside and drop them into an entry box at a registered school. The school with the highest number of valid entries in each region wins. 1,000 consolation prizes are also up for grabs. Register your school now with Paradise Foods Limited. Smart Start breakfast biscuit, proudly made by Paradise Foods.
Tonight on Sports Scene, we talk about the Pacific Mini Games.
Team PNG finished first with 33 gold, 28 silver and 19 bronze.
And we hear from the ADF International Sports Program. Sports Scene tonight at 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Morning Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Our chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Money Plus we're ready to go.
Mipla halivim wari bilang you.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
The weather report for the next 24 hours. In Southern Region, Port Moresby City becoming cloudy with evening possible heavy showers, rain and thunderstorm and drainage flooding. Daru becoming cloudy with evening moderate showers, rain and thunderstorms. Kerma, cloudy with evening possible heavy showers, rain and thunderstorms. Alotau, cloudy with evening moderate showers, rain and thunderstorms. And Popondetta, cloudy with evening possible heavy showers, rain and thunderstorms. In Mamatsa region, Lae City, cloudy periods with possible evening heavy showers, rain and thunderstorms and potential flooding. Medeng, cloudy evening with possible heavy showers, rain, thunderstorms, and inland flooding. Wewak, cloudy with occasional showers, rain, and possible thunderstorms with inland flooding. And Vanimo, cloudy with occasional showers, rain, and possible thunderstorms with inland flooding. In Njai region, Lorengau, cloudy with moderate showers and rain and possible thunderstorms. Kavieng, cloudy with periods of rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Kokopon Rabaul, cloudy with evening occasional showers, rain and drizzles. Kimbe becoming cloudy with moderate showers, rain and possible thunderstorms. And Buka partly cloudy with few evening showers. In Islands region, Mount Again City, cloudy periods with heavy showers, rain and thunderstorms and potential flooding. Goroka, Bands and Kundiawa, cloudy with evening possible heavy showers, rain and thunderstorms, riverine flooding. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy with evening possible heavy showers, rain and thunderstorms and riverine flooding.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Thursday, the 13th of March 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing and good night.